It's Jamie here again. I just wanted to give you a quick tour around the plot. Only 2 weeks after the last video, 2.5 weeks, but there's been so much progress I wanted to show you. So here goes. Right, the alliums are in full flower now and they are looking divine. Really beautiful, and I've got a load this year. I think the delay in them coming up is meant they put on a really good bloom. They are just starting to grow over now. Jerusalem artichokes, they've put on some real growth. I would say they're probably about 2 to 3 foot tall now. Well, you can see, there we are, there's the compost bin. That gives you an idea of the height. And I didn't dig them up last year, so I'm expecting lots next year. I should probably be giving some away as plants as well, tubers for people to plant. Here are the shallots, they're looking good. There's a parsnips come up right in the middle of them. I don't know if you can see that. But all looking good. You've got a bed of lettuces here, various lettuces, icebergs, round lettuces, and I think I had some red icebergs. No, they're not in there yet. There we got my sturgeon onions, they're doing fine, looking good. Pak choy and more lettuces. Pea Kelvedon Wonder, it's not doing brilliantly. I don't know what it is, but I've put in some old branches. There was an old tree up the road from me and it had been cut down for ages and they'd just been left there lying around in the derelict's house. So I got them, and you see they're like natural pea sticks, and in theory the peas are meant to go up them, but that depends if the peas want to bloody grow or not. Here's my sweet corn. I grow it in blocks because that's the best way to grow it to get a good pollination, and that is sweet corn thrust or something like that, or rapid, I can't remember. I have got another variety which I'll be planting out today as well, and that is sweet corn sweetie pie. This is a bed of celery. I vowed not to grow any more celery this year because I had much luck with it because I didn't earth it up at all, but a lady gave me a load of plants from up the way, Viv, and she said they're self-blanching, so I don't need to do nothing, so third year lucky. This is my dwarf French bean bed, and they are Saxona. I think I bought the seeds from Lidl. They all look alright down this end, but if you look here, they're all yellow. What's causing them to yellow, I don't know. The ground is watered, is it overwatered, is lacking something. I'm not sure what. We did have a wind coming in from that direction. I wonder if that's what's doing it, but who knows. I don't know if you can see in the net in there, but these are my sprouts, Maximus, and I've got 3 plants in this area. That's more than enough really, and they're starting to put on some good growth now. I put the supports in because they do need supporting, because they do obviously get big and heavy with the weight of the vegetables on there. This is the flower bed, and all the summer flowers are now really coming to life. Got Granny's bonnet there. We've got butterfly lavender. Lupins have just come into flower, starting to flower today. I love them, and so do the bees, which is good. And my poppies. These were taken from a plant what I bought in a garden centre about 5 years ago, and I've been keeping the seeds, and this is the result now. I've got them everywhere. I absolutely adore them. I think they're just such a beautiful poppy. I don't know if you can see it, and there we go, there's a bee going in now, look. If you can see him, he's burrowed right in down in there. That was good timing, Mr. B. There he is, munching away on the pollen. Fantastic. Perfect timing. There he goes. That is lovely. I'll just keep the camera there for a while. Watch the bee at work. He's gone right in. He'll be back. There he comes. And off he goes in my face. Made me jump. He's buzzing at me now. He's not happy with me filming him. And here we are. That gives you a good idea of the Granny's bonnet coming up through. More poppies this side. All that lovely pollen in there is what the bees are coming in for. It's like crepe paper. I feel it's beautiful. Really, really beautiful. So that's my flower bed. Everything is starting to come alive, or is alive. So I'm happy. There's another bee there. Another bee munching away on the pollen. They get right down in there. There we are, look. He's going crazy for it. That was lovely. That was perfect timing, and the bees have done me proud there. Right, the comfort is in full flower now. I don't know when I was meant to take a cut in, but I couldn't cut it as soon as the flowers come, because it's just full of bees. There's bees everywhere, so why would you want to cut those flowers away just to make yourself a feed when you can feed the bees? And it's quite a beautiful flower actually, and I really like it. It makes quite a statement on the plot. And then coming through, we've got the wildflowers. Like I said before, I did oversow them, but I'm not worried, because whichever one's the strongest will come through and compete. I don't know if anything's flowering yet. Oh yeah, there we go. There's some lovely little wildflowers down there. You can see the blues and the purples. Fantastic. And there we are. Yeah, there's more flowers here, look. There we go. Lovely little purple flower. I haven't got a clue what they are, mine, but it's all about attracting the bees. There's a sunflower coming up through there and pollinating insects. Right, this is the garlic beds, and they're doing good now. It's not far now, long now, before they start sending out their scapes. In fact, I'm going to see if I can find one. Once the scapes come up, you cut them off, because that's obviously the flower, and you can eat them. They're lovely. I like them chopped up and put in an omelette. Really nice. It's like a milder garlicky taste. And there we go. There we are. There's the first scape. My shadows, I'm casting a shadow there. There, just coming up through. So I'll leave that a bit longer, then I cut it off, and they are lovely, chopped up. Just treat them like spring onions, anything like that. Put them in stir fries, omelettes, anything really. Just how you would use onions or garlic. And there's the other bed. They were planted slightly later, but they're not far behind. Right, this is the asparagus, which is now gone over, so it just gets left to build up a strong root system. And I come through, I need to tie this in better because the wind changed direction and it's pulling on it. See there, putting a lot of weight on it. You don't want them to snap off because they're going to build up the roots. There are a few asparagus down there. I may take a couple of them tonight, that'll be fine to take, and then just let the rest go. So that's the asparagus. And then coming up through, this is the pumpkin bed. But I got to sprout that end, and I sprout that end. And because this bed had hoops on, I've also got some runner beans going across the hoops. So I've got three things going on. And while the pumpkins are growing, I got lettuces up the side. You can see them. So they should be ready before the pumpkins take over the bed. So the theory is the pumpkins take over the bed, the sprouts come up through, and the runner beans go over the hoop. So that bed has got four things in: lettuce, sprouts, pumpkins, jack-o'-lantern, and runner bean St. George. So it's about utilising your space. So if you haven't got a lot of space, that's what you should be looking at doing. Thinking of innovative ways of making more space on your plot or your back garden, wherever you've got. I said this was going to be a quick video, but it looks like it's going to be as long as the last ones. Right, these are my spud beds. You see going up through. This is Rocket, and if we come down and have a look, it's just starting to flower. The flowers are just coming, so they're not far off. And then up there, Pent and Javelin, all looking nice and healthy. Right, into the polytunnel, and we have the chilies, and the peppers. They're looking a bit sad. I gave them a good feed yesterday with some tomato feed, so hopefully they'll come better. But if I come down closer and you look, we have got a fruit, so we're not far off eating them either. Lettuces, which are ready now, they need to come out really. I got to start eating them. And as you can see, I put more bars across, so I have got lots, when I say lots I mean lots, of tumbling toms. Yeah, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18 tumbling toms. I don't know if you can appreciate that. Oh, and 2 here as well, so that's 20 altogether. They're F2s. They'd fallen on the ground last year and sprouted this year, so I thought I'll try them. They're from F1 seeds. They say they don't come true. They're looking alright to me. Courgette. Just there we are, first flower of the year on the courgettes. Basil. More basil. And then flat leaf parsley at the back. Inca tomatoes, everything's really flowering now. Gardener's Delight and Moneymaker, and I've also got Piccolos. Now the Moneymakers and the Gardener's Delight, they were in buckets, but it was just too much for me. I was having to water them twice a day literally. They were drying out that quick. So yesterday and the day before I put them into the ground. I moved them when they were flowering, but they look fine. So they're all in the ground now. There's a cucumber down here somewhere. There. That's Cucumber Telegraph. That tomato's been there ages. On there, that's a totem tomato, which is a patio tomato. If it ever goes red, I might get to eat it. Inca bush tomatoes. More basil. I've got marigolds in here. Flowers to deter pests. Market more cucumbers. As I said before, they're outdoor, but I'm growing them indoors, so I'm not convinced by this summer, even though the last week has been fantastic. And the last of the Cavo Nero, which is still going. I had to get rid of some of it to make room for the tomato. Right, let me take you around to the new plot. Right, on the new plot, I just want to show you this quickly. That is the greenhouse. It is now fully glazed. Got a couple of tomato plants at the back. I got some more tomatoes in grow bags and a couple of cucumbers, olive tree, and various things that have still got to go out. Lettuces, celeriac, and I should be sowing some more peas and beans today. Right, this is the new plot, he says, tripping over. And a lot of changes since the last video. That's why I wanted to do a video now. I'll probably do another video at the end of June. I think these crates are in the last video. In there I got more dwarf French beans. Again, they look a bit yellow. I'm not sure why. I've got a courgette over there, which is all green bush. And on the final one, I've got beetroot Baltardi. My mom's 2 peas are now starting to grow. They were yellowing, but they seem to have come through that, and they're growing up. They're getting greener and they're looking healthier. And if I come down in without falling in the pup, there we are, some flowers. So all looking good. Coming up round this way, got broad beans. Finally, not these here, they look absolutely bedraggled. But up here, they are actually putting on some growth. So I'm pleased with that, and there are flowers on them. So I may get broad beans soon. Here's where it's changed. I had wild flowers in here, they just weren't growing. And I had lots of spare butternut squash. So I decided to put the butternut squash in here. I made some willow wigwams. And I've got sweet peas going up the wigwams. So again, lovely scented old-fashioned sweet peas. They bring the bees in and they give a lovely scent on the plot. So that's that ready there. I'm going to come back round like that and show you it. So that bed again, there are wildflowers coming up through still. We'll just be full of butternut squash. I've got sunflowers all down the side, so they go up. So it's a question of like, so where the butternut squash, pumpkins, anything that covers the ground, have something growing up. So an obvious thing would be sunflowers, sweet corn or beans, something like that. There is a method that the old Indians, Red Indians use. It's called the free it's the free something, I can't think what it's called anyway, where they have sweet corn, pumpkins and beans, and they have the pumpkins covering the ground, or the squash covering the ground, and they have the beans going up the sweet corn. So you've got 3 things in one bed. Coming through to the summer house, now this has been the biggest transformation, because I've got loads of pots and there's lots and lots of colour and lots of plants all the way through. And if I can come through there without falling over, try and show you it. So I've got lots of lavenders, lots of cosmos, lobelias, lots of flowers, lots of lavenders, gypsophilia, all sorts of things in pots and round. And there, look, I've used all set of drawers that will go in free. So basically I've turned those drawers into raised beds. They're not going to last forever because they're not designed to be raised beds, but if you're getting some up for free and it's a raised bed and it lasts you 3 years, 2 years, even 1 year, use it, it's worth it. It's cheaper than buying all this fancy stuff. This down here was an old cabinet that was chucked out in work on the skip, and again, it's an old kitchen cabinet. I've turned it into a raised bed. It's only chipboard, probably lasts 1 or 2 years, but it saves me buying and making a raised bed. It's perfectly square, unlike the raised bed I made myself, and it's free. And in there I got some lettuces and some peas that are looking a lot more healthy. And here my runner beans, and they're looking good. They've really started putting on growth in the last couple of days, and things are really coming along now. There we are, there's a shot of the new plot, which I'm really pleased with. I was looking at a photo of which was taken 16 weeks ago on Instagram, and I was just taking the covers off, and to think it's looking like this now, I am more than pleased. Yeah, it's hard work, but you've only got to look at it and see all the lovely flowers and all the vegetables growing, so the work is worth it. And what you put in, you get out. That's always been my motto in life. What you put in, you get out. Right, coming down onto the fruit plot with the brassicas on. As you can see, the brassicas are really taking off. They're looking good. I mean, slugs are having a good old munch in there as well, but they'll be fine. In fact, I don't think it's going to be long before I'm eating cabbages. So plenty of stir fries, roast dinners. Can't wait. Strawberries. These are in netting here. I'm going to take that netting off because I've noticed they're sending out a lot of runners, and I want to pin them down to make more plants for next year. And there we are. There's the strawberries that are not under the netting. And if we come down, there we are. You can see the fruits are there. Green, not quite red yet, but shouldn't be too long if the weather stays like this. And there's all the fruit bushes. And the bigger bushes I've covered because I don't want the birds eating the fruits. So I got a blackcurrant, 2 gooseberries, red currant, and a couple of other currant bushes over there netted. All the smaller ones, which are cuttings, 2 years old now, they have got fruit on. You can see the gooseberry on there, but I've left that. So my theory is I've got enough fruit on there for this year, and because these have only got a few bits of fruit on, I'll let the birds have that. But believe me, they won't be having it next year because I'm planning on netting it all, making a sturdier fruit cage if I can. Maybe something like, I don't know if you can see that in the background, but that's made with scaffold tubes and scaffold netting. So that would be my plan for next winter. That's my next winter's job. Because the one I made last year, we had all the snow in January and it obviously collapsed with the weight of it. It wasn't sturdy enough. It was made with bamboo canes. Right, that's it then. It was supposed to be a short video, but it went on a bit longer than expected. You've enjoyed the tour, and I'll speak to you all soon. Take care. Bye bye.